We are back here on the Darien Athletic Foundation Media Network. Damian Andrew alongside Mike Gagliardi. And Mike, no score, 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Darien's first drive of the game, and workmanlike.
Bold go there on 4th down and 7. Picked it up.
Joyce to Pryor. And he keeps turning those legs. Such a powerful back.
Gang tackle there by Stamford. Good pursuit of the ball.
I mentioned Mitch Pryor at the outset, number 21 for Darien. Impressive back. The Blue Wave throw the ball around a lot, but this is a guy that you could give it on almost every down.
2nd and 6.
Here's Joyce. Going up top. Incomplete. Broken up on the play. Intended for Nick Green on the far side of the field.
Nice coverage by Stamford. We're now 3rd and 7 from the 25-yard line. 20-yard line, excuse me. Got trips left for Darien. That's going to be close. Joyce up the middle. Quarterback keeper. And then it is a 1st down.
And we had some technical difficulties before this one started. We apologize for those technical difficulties. We came on the air with no audio, so it's Damian Andrew, Mike Gagliardi bringing you this game. Darien, Stamford. Of course, Darien, the number 1 ranked team in the state. Stamford comes into this one 1-2. And this is Darien's first drive of the game. They give it to Pryor again, and he bowls his way into the end zone.
Dragging 2 or 3 Stamford players. That's 6 for Darien Wave.
And so it was the Mitch Pryor show on that first drive of the game for Darien. They keep it on the ground against this Stanford defense, and he finds his way into the end zone. And the extra point attempt here by Austin Hagender. And Mike, this kid can kick it.
Beautiful. Right down the middle. Good leg, good accuracy.
Right down Broadway. It's 7-0 Darien. 6:30 left in the first quarter. And again, it's Damian Andrew, Mike Gagliardi bringing you this game from a beautiful Boyle Stadium on a cool night. You know, Mike, it's funny. This is now football weather. It was a hot one last week. St. Joe's temperatures in the high 80s. Low 90s. It was fall on the calendar, but it certainly felt like the middle of summer.
Got a little football fever here with this weather.
It's football weather tonight, and this is one of the really nice venues in all of Connecticut. The historic Boyle Stadium. It's been renovated the last couple of years. There's been FCIAC championships decided on this field. State playoff games. As a matter of fact, the last time Darien played on this field before tonight was in the state semifinals last year when they beat Southington here in an impressive performance. Of course, Darien, the 2-time defending Class L state champs, 28-game win streak. And Teddy St. Louis takes it out to about the 27-yard line.
I believe he was brought down by Connor Fay.
Connor Fay getting it done on special teams. Terrific linebacker for the Blue Wave. And now, Mike, you'll get to see this vaunted Darien defense. Stamford head coach Jamar Green says we have to take this game one play at a time. We know we're up against it. This is a tough Darien team, obviously the number 1 ranked team in the state.
We have 6:23 left here in the first quarter. Stamford at their own 28.
And Cameron Freckleton will take the direct snap here and running out to the near sideline. Picks up about 8 yards on the play.
Nice cutback by Cameron.
And that's a first down, actually.
It is indeed.
First
Damien.
down, Black Knights. So a good start for Stamford. Their second offensive possession of the game. Some positive yardage for Jamar Green's team. Here's Freckleton again, the direct snap, and he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Connor Fay in on that tackle.
Connor read that play, blasted through the hole, brought him down for a 2-yard loss.
Mike, Coach Trefone, very impressed with his second and third levels of his defense coming into the season. The question mark was the defensive line. Those questions have been answered in the first 3 weeks of the season. The line has played incredibly well. Of course, the defensive line has been such a staple for Rob Trefone's teams the last several seasons.
Yeah, Damien, I think they can take a few more risks knowing how well they play in the backfield.
And here's Terry Forrester, the quarterback for Stamford, gives it to St. Louis, and he really has nowhere to go. Gets back to
staying on his feet.
Whistle
Finally
finally.
a whistle
Yes.
Zuro was like a burro on that. He drove him back.
Well said. St. Louis, one of Stamford's top offensive players. And that's what coaches always tell you. Keep churning those legs. And he certainly did. 3rd down and 4.
14 there,
14,
Damien, I believe.
Yes, it is. 3rd down and 14.
Oh!
And the fumble is recovered by Connor Fay, number 44.
Sacked there by Ivanchek.
And, of course, Drew Ivanchek, special player. His brother, Mark Ivanchek, 2 years ago was one of the top players in the state on the defensive side of the ball. Broke the state record for sacks. 4:32 left, 7-0 Darien. And they have it here on the 30-yard line in Stamford territory. Here's Joyce out of the gun. Gives it to Pryor. They're keeping it on the ground. And he is driven back.
He's a workhorse. I think he picked up 3 or 4 there, Damien.
He did, and he was brought down by about 3 or 4 Stamford defenders, Mike.
I'm impressed with Stanford's ability to get to the ball. 2 or 3 of these guys are attacking the running back on each play.
Second down here for the Blue Wave. Joyce. He rolls to his right, looking downfield. Now he's going to keep it to the far side of the field, gets out of bounds, gets to about the 21, 22-yard line. Nice pickup on the play. Mike, he's a first-year senior starter, Jack Joyce, and he has played like a guy who's been starting for the last 3 years. Dual threat guy, can run it, as you just saw, can throw it. And the thing that Coach Trefone likes the most about this kid, number 5, QB1, is the fact that he's so cerebral. He really sees the game well. Nice player.
It's exciting to watch after the last 3 or 4 years of having a traditional in-the-pocket quarterback. Joyce is quite different, quite exciting.
Gets it to Burke, and he gets to about the 16-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play. Patrick Burke, just one of those receivers on this Darien team that can break one at any given time. Coach Trefone, very impressed, very complimentary of his receivers at the beginning of the season, and they have not disappointed. First down for the Blue Wave. And they keep it on the ground again. This is Pryor. Who else? Number 21 into about 4 Stamford defenders.
Boy, he picks up tough yards.
You are right, Mike. Stamford's defense, they pursue as a group very well. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. 7-0 Darien. We've got time here as a Darien player down on the field.
Those quarterbacks I was referring to, Damien, both Brian Peters and Timmy Graham, they both moved on to play Division I football. Timmy's up at Bryant in Rhode Island, and Peters is at University of New England at first year of Division I football up there. They're playing a JV schedule, but it's quality football.
A number of Darien football alums are playing at the college level. You mentioned those two guys, 2 great examples. Another great example is Andrew Stuber, playing for the University of Michigan, and he is playing. He is not redshirting. And they are up 7-0. They scored on their first drive of the game. Mitch Pryor with a touchdown run. And here's Joyce out of the gun. He'll roll to his left, going to the near sideline, and that is a touchdown. Number 29, Tyler Herget, another one of the receivers, comes from a very athletic Darien family. And you know him, Mike, and spreading the wealth around. 13-0 with the PAT coming up.
Tyler was split way out left, went into the end zone, and came back for the ball. Beautiful play. And great throw by Joyce as he rolled left, throwing with his right.
Throwing across the body. Dangerous player. And here's Hagender for the extra point. It is true.
It is good.
And it is blue.
It was a high snap. Great job by the holder, who I believe is Minikis. One of his many talents.
Blue Wave up 14-0. 2:40 left in the first quarter here at historic Boyle Stadium on the campus of Stamford High School. And the Blue Wave off to a great start in this one. Number 1 ranked team in the state, undefeated, 3-0, 28-game win streak. The last time they lost was in 2014 to their arch rival New Canaan. They haven't lost a regular season game since 2013. They lost to St. Joe's. I talked to Coach T before the St. Joe's game, and I said, is that momentum? He goes, don't you think I've talked to these guys about that game? That was the last regular season game we lost.
He leaves no stone unturned.
No, he doesn't. Terrific coach in his 10th season at Darien High School. Of course, was the head coach at Brian McMahon, did well there. And this is his 10th season coaching the Blue Wave. They've played in 5 state championship games, won 2 of them.
I'm amazed how each year, Damien, he manages to find a kicker. When my son was on this same field back a number of years ago, we had no kicker. Year in and year out, Rob gets a good kicker.
St. Louis takes the kickoff to the 20, to the 25, and the Stamford offense comes back out onto the field. Now, this is really, if you're down 14-0, they come out strong. Darien, you knew they would. Now you got to try to sustain a drive here and find a way to get points.
I agree, Damien. I think they need to keep the ball for a while. I've been impressed with their ability to move the ball, but they just haven't been able to garner very many first downs.
St. Louis takes the direct snap, and he picks up a couple of yards.
Fay on the tackle.
Fay, we've mentioned his name a few times tonight. Terrific linebacker. Made a nice play on special teams. You know, Stamford working out of that direct snap. The wildcat, if you will, which has been in vogue in football circles the last several years. Mike, when I was in high school, it was an I formation. They handed it off to our big running back, and that was it. Fumbled the snap.
Oh.
And this could be Darien ball.
It got kicked around a little bit.
Coach told me the other day when I spoke to him, Coach Green, that is, we just can't make mental mistakes against a team that plays as well as Darien.
It's a shame. The quarterback they have is a great athlete, you can tell, and it's just these silly mistakes costing Stamford.
Here's Joyce. And he gives it to number 43, Andrew Lucas, the junior back. Pryor was a little bit banged up on that last series for Darien. Hopefully he is okay. But that time Lucas gets the call on the ground and picks up a couple. Second down for Darien. Here's Joyce looking downfield.
Under pressure.
And that is what you call making something out of nothing. Under pressure, but is able to get outside to the far sideline.
You mentioned it earlier, Damien. He's a dual threat, and he used his legs there to turn nothing into something. I think we have a 3rd and 1.
And you have to think, if it's 3rd and 1, which it is, they're going to try to keep this on the ground. Joyce under center. And they do that.
Looked like that was Nick Green picking up 2 or 3 yards for a first down, Darien. We're inside a minute here, first quarter.
Yep, under a minute to go. 14-0 Darien. Joyce gives it to Lucas, and he goes up the middle and to about the 1 yard line, I'd say.
That's about the length of a football, Damien.
It certainly is. I thought he almost got in, but he is down at the 1, or maybe the 1 inch line.
Clock's running, 23 seconds here in the first quarter.
And we've got whistles and a flag on the play.
Looks like it might be an offside on the Black Knights. No.
Offside, Darien.
Motion on Darien.
Yep, so that'll back them up. That'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be second down here for Darien on the 5 yard line.
Yeah.
And here we go. Joyce.
That's it.
And that'll be it.
That's it, Damien. End of the first quarter, 14-0. Darien Blue Wave.
Mike, our first quarter is in the book. Had some audio technical issues before we came on tonight. We apologize for that. The DAF Media Network, we're just getting started here. And happy to bring you this game, Darien and Stamford. The Blue Wave leading 14-0. And Mike, impressions of that first quarter? They came right out. First drive of the game, got it in the end zone.
They played their game. They stuck to the ground this time. But as you mentioned earlier, Damon, Joyce is a dual threat. Even when there is nobody open in the backfield, offensive backfield, he just takes it and he seems to be fleet of foot and get the yards necessary.
Mike Gagliardi. Can I call you Gags? Is that okay?
You
I know
can call me
your
Gags.
friends call you Gags.
You can call me that, Damien.
Mike, longtime president of the Darien Junior Football League. Of course, a lot of these players that are playing on the Darien varsity team this season played in that league. It's a great feeder program, and it's one of the reasons why the varsity program has had so much success in recent years.
Certainly is. And one of the things Rob's done is that we all of the DJFL teams run the offense of the high school. So when these kids get up there as freshmen, they know the offense.
Joyce looking downfield. He's got a guy open, and it's Nick Green. Nice catch.
Joyce took quite a lick when he released that football. Tough kid. Right bank, jumps right back up.
Of course, Joyce, a terrific lacrosse player as well, will play lacrosse in college. And that is Darienne's third touchdown of the first half. Hagender on for the point after. It is up and it is good. And Mike, you alluded to this. It is so important. It's actually it's so nice to have a guy who can kick extra points and field goals. Hagender had a 30-yard field goal in the first game of the season, a win over Ridgefield, which was a statement win for Darien. Like I said, a lot of question marks coming into this season for the Blue Wave. New Canaan was the number 1 ranked team in the state.
Certainly were.
At the start of the season. They get beat by St. Joe's, and Darien goes up to Ridgefield, gets a big win there, 38-12 over the Tigers. And then they beat McMahon 47-0, and then another statement win against a very good St. Joe's team, a St. Joe's team that will probably
play in the state final.
Find their way into the postseason again. Joe Dellavecchia, their head coach, does such a terrific job with that cadets program. And they beat St. Joe's last week impressively at home, homecoming for the Blue Wave, 42-10. Darien getting ready to kick off here after their third touchdown of the game. And as we mentioned earlier, just a picture-perfect night for football. Hagender kicks it off, and Page fields it at about the 20-yard line, and he is brought down by a pack of Darien.
Great special teams play there, Damien. They really pursue that ball well.
It's so funny. There are 3 facets in football: offense, defense, special teams, and oftentimes special teams proves to be such a difference.
An Achilles heel or a big benefit.
You're absolutely right. 11:46 to go in the first half, 21-0 Wave. And we've got whistles.
This has been a quick game so far, with Darien keeping the ball on the ground, as has Stamford. Time is ticking quickly.
Jamar Green wanted to talk to his team, and Mike want to take a guess at what he's saying to his team. Let's try to find a way to get this ball down the field against this very tough and impressive Blue Wave defense.
Yeah, let's get some first downs, guys. That's all. Let's get some first downs, and things will take care of themselves. They're not playing poorly. They're just not getting the necessary first downs to keep the ball.
That is a great point. You just want to try to chip away, try to pick up a first down here and there, and keep the ball moving. Take some time off the clock, not give it back to that Darien offense.
Also, hold on to the football, guys. No more turnovers.
They've had a couple of mental mistakes tonight, has Stamford, and it certainly hasn't helped their cause.
Can't hold the line.
Yeah, that defensive line for the Blue Wave has become a staple in Rob Treffone's success. The pitch out to Freckleton, near side of the field, maybe a yard. And that'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Black Knights.
Nick Green on that play, sealed the edge.
Nick Green, two-way player for the Blue Wave. And we've mentioned his name a lot this season, and we're only 4 games in. Forrester now going to work out of the gun. And another timeout for the Black Knights as they face a 3rd and long situation. Ball on the 19-yard line.
Damien, they need to pick up some yards here. They can't be stuck on their doorstep again. We haven't seen much of their special teams, but They can't allow Darien to be inside the 50-yard line on the next possession.
Yeah, Stamford just has not been able to generate much offense so far in this one. Damian Andrew, Mike Gagliardi, the former president of the DJFL, joining us for tonight's broadcast on the DAF Media Network.
I'm just stepping in here for a second, Damian. Bruce Ferguson. Happy to be here tonight with Mike and Damian. I just want to say, Damian, thank you very much. This is, I think, your 12th game. You're off to a great start with the Darien Athletic Foundation. I think I speak for all of us that we've made a great hire in bringing you on board. And, you know, I think we're all thrilled with what you're doing for the Darien Athletic Foundation and for the community in general. So I know you've been on board almost a month now. I think about a month, almost to the day. So
kudos, Damian.
Well, thank you, guys. It's an exciting adventure and a venture by the Darien Athletic Foundation to live stream these games. And Herget fumbles it, picks it up, and now he gets to the near sideline, and he's going to pick up some yardage. From where he was initially on that to turn it into a positive gain, that's saying something, because he fumbled that ball, and the Stamford special teams unit was in hot pursuit, but he's able to get outside and pick up some yardage.
That was a good 30-yard run for a pickup of 10 yards.
Yeah, well said. The ball on the Stamford 41-yard line here. Jack Joyce in at quarterback. Andrew Lucas. He gives it to Lucas.
Play blown dead.
Whistles. Lucas, the junior running back, getting some action here.
This is a first for me. They have a female official out there today. Hadn't seen that in any of the Darien games yet to date. Linesman, she made the call.
And this will back up the Blue Wave.
one more item on the broadcast tonight. Technologically, we have had some challenges, and so for those of you at home, we hope that we are coming in clear. The quality on tonight's broadcast will be a little bit lower because we are using a cellular network for our access to the internet to make the broadcast possible. Quite a bit goes into getting the internet connections for these broadcasts, and we made a visit here this week and checked the internet, but the Stamford school system closes the internet down in the schools on the weekends, which they didn't tell us. So
I guess we needed to call Al Gore with that one.
Yeah, so we apologize that our quality of the video tonight is a little bit lower.
Here's Joyce scrambling, and again picks up some positive yardage. We've used this phrase a couple of times already tonight, but making something out of nothing. And to your point from earlier, Mike, that is the great advantage of having a dual threat guy who can run it and throw it.
Certainly. And I just to give credit to Dominic Damasi on that previous play, on a draw play, he stuffed Darien on first down, followed by that nice run by Jack Joyce.
Third down for the Wave. Joyce, little dink pass to Lucas, and Lucas is going to pick up a first down inside the 25-yard line. Even the third drive of the game, Lucas is filled in nicely in the backfield for Pryor.
He sure has. Let's hope Mitchell's okay.
Andrew Lucas, the junior running back, number 43 for the Blue Wave. Two receivers left, two receivers right. And here's Joyce over the middle, and a nice catch by Brian Minikis, the senior captain.
Nice tackle on that play by Cameron Frickleton.
Second down and about 8 for Darien. 4 receivers. And here's Joyce. Gives it to
Lucas.
And that is a touchdown right up the middle. Great blocking by that offensive line. And Andrew Lucas, the junior running back, has himself a touchdown. With 7:30 left in the first half, Darien goes up 27-0.
Damien, he was nearly untouched. Broke one small arm tackle, and it was off to the races.
Well said. He had all kinds of daylight, Mike. And me and Andrew, Mike Agliardi, broadcasting this game for you on the DAF Media Network, which is a new venture this season for the Darien Athletic Foundation. We will be live streaming a schedule of games throughout the school calendar, and it's really it's been a lot of fun thus far, an exciting venture by the DAF. And Mike, it's great having you on board. We're going to get a chance, I think, in this second half perhaps to talk a little bit basketball, which is a sport that both you and I love.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. I tell my mother to this day, Damien, if I were a foot taller, I'd be in my 40th year in the NBA.
Well, it's funny. I'm 6'4" now, 44 years of age. I was a point guard in high school, not even probably 5'8", 5'7". I was a tiny little guy, and we ran the entire game, or certainly most of the game, and I would just distribute. That's what I did. Had 18 points once. That was my career high in high school.
We're cut from the same mold. I think I scored 18 points in all 3 years I played in varsity level. This is Baez with the ball.
Baez bringing it out to about the 35-yard line.
Nice return.
You know, Stamford has had some decent field position in this game. They just have not been able to move the ball against this vaunted Darien defense.
I just think they haven't been able to get into a rhythm, and that's what they need. A couple of first downs will do that for them. As you said, Damien, they're not playing bad football. It's just they can't get in a rhythm, can't get any momentum.
I want to give a shout out to Bruce Ferguson. You just heard him a little. And here's Terry Forrester out of the gun. He's going downfield, and broken play there.
Boy, he's got a heck of an arm there, Damien.
He can throw it. Forrester is he's a junior, 5'9", 160 pounds, had 3 touchdown passes last week in a big win over Trinity Catholic. That's a city rival,
Sure.
as you know, and also had a 1-yard touchdown run. So he can run it too, much like Joyce. But the Darien defense has baffled this Stamford offense. Pretty good crowd here tonight at Boyle Stadium. The Darien sideline, nice ball.
A little too much heat on that.
Intended for Bryson Powell, the sophomore receiver. He just couldn't come up with it.
Third and 10 here for the Black Knights.
Forrester looking downfield. And he had a guy open. He had St. Louis
Certainly
open,
did.
just overthrew him. Nice pattern by St. Louis. Teddy St. Louis, number 12 for Stamford. Good look, just couldn't capitalize there, and so Stamford turns it over on downs.
This young quarterback has a great arm. He just needs to throttle it back a little.
Minikis and Tyler Herget back to receive for the Blue Wave.
End over end punt. Fielded by Minikis.
Minikis dances along the sidelines here.
Breaking
near
tackles.
sideline. Great run back by Brian Minikis.
A little frustration there by the Black Knights. A little late hit out of bounds.
Brian Minikis, 3 interceptions in that season opening win over Ridgefield, Mike. 2 he took back to the house.
6 sixes, yeah. Exciting.
And then he missed the Brian McMahon game, and then he was back in action for St. Joe's, and we see him here tonight. Terrific. Of course, his mom is the head coach of the Darien field hockey team, does such a great job with that program. I mean, how many championships has she won?
And a wonderful coach, wonderful person.
And the Darien offense back out on the field. 6:50 left in the first half. 27-0 Darien, dominating performance here in this first half at Boyle Stadium. Joyce over the middle, and a nice catch there.
Oh, taken away by Stamford.
How about this? 6, taking it away from 6. Cameron Freckleton, number 6, the senior, 6'2", 200 pounds. And that is the kind of play that Stamford needs to operate. 3 receivers. Forrester looking to throw. He does, and it's underthrown there. Intended receiver was Jason Baez. Stamford was doing a lot of things out of the backfield on their first couple of series. Now they look to be throwing the ball down the field, trying to get something, trying to get some sort of momentum here on offense.
Yeah, they need this quarterback to have a few completions, get comfortable in the pocket, and again, the moment.
Looking downfield for St. Louis, and just through his fingertips. That was a well-thrown ball, nice route over the middle, downfield. He just couldn't bring it in.
He had beaten Ferguson on that play. That would have been 6.
That was a nicely thrown ball by Terry Forrester. St. Louis just couldn't bring it in, and they use St. Louis in so many different formations, does Stamford. He is a nice athlete for the Black Knights.
3rd and 10 here.
Heading for the far sideline, and he is tripped up. Nice tackle there
By Groon.
Good
pursuit from his linebacker position.
Groon, that's his 6th tackle of the season, solo tackle. He has 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. Kevin Groon, number 9 for the Blue Wave. Nice player on that defense.
Stamford forced to punt again.
And Will Martinez back to punt for the Black Knights. And Minikis signals for the fair catch. And so Darien will take over at their own 28-yard line.
That was a fine punt by Martinez.
Yeah, that was a nice punt.
High spiral.
Yep.
Forced a fair catch.
So it's 5:26 left in the first half. Darien in command of this one, up 27-0. Jack Joyce and his offense back out on the field. Gives it to Andrew Lucas, number 43, and he picks up a few right up the middle. The offensive line doing a nice job. We mentioned his touchdown run. He was untouched. Had all kinds of daylight.
Again, we have not seen Pryor return. We'll have to find out at halftime his status.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to check in and see how Mitch Pryor's doing, but he has not come back into this game. The good thing, he walked off on his own, which is a good sign. Here's Joyce. Rolls right, looking downfield, and he's got Minikis for a big pickup.
Brought down by Cameron Frickleton. Seems to be all over the field.
Darien in white with the blue pants, and Stamford in the black with the orange trim. Jack Joyce out of the gun. And how about this? Oh. And he is crunched there by Freckleton. and number 43, Bryce Kijek.
It looked like Joyce might break out of the pack there, but he was sandwiched by two Black Knights.
Second down, gives it to Lucas.
On the draw.
Nice draw play.
Saving tackle there by Matthew Doyle. That had touchdown written all over it.
So a big third down coming up here for the Blue Wave. 3:25 left in the first half. Ball on the 40-yard line. Three receivers to the right, and Joyce is looking for one of them. Nick Green over the middle, catch down to the 15-yard line. Nice pickup on the play. Nick Green with the catch.
Old reliable Nick Green.
One of
Great
those
hands. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Coming into this game, Nick Green, 10 catches for 247 yards. Here's Joyce. Gives it to Lucas up the middle, and he picks up a couple.
Damon, I believe he's a junior, no? I mean, that's a nice workhorse to have coming back next year, Lucas.
Lucas is a junior. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Junior running back, yeah. He has played well. As we mentioned, Mitch Pryor went down with an injury. We're going to try to find out what exactly is up with him at halftime, but he has not returned. Here's Joyce, and he's looking downfield. He's got Minikis, overthrows him, tough play. A little too much on that ball.
A little crowded back there in the end zone as well. Third and around 6, I think.
You're absolutely right. 3rd and 6.
Clock stopped with 2:19 here in the first half.
Four receivers and Lucas in the backfield. Here's Joyce over the middle. And a nice catch there by Alex Damel.
It's going to be close to a first down. May call for a measurement here, Damien.
Well, that's my bad. That's Minikis with the catch.
We're going to have a measurement. Official measurement.
Here at Boyle Stadium on a perfect night for football. Crisp, a little bit of wind. They bring him in special situations. And he's only a sophomore, and he is a big boy.
He is a big man.
So Stamford takes over here, deep in their own end, down 27-0. This is probably the worst field position of the first half that they have had.
And I think the coach is going to take a couple minutes to tell them no turnovers down here. Let's get in the locker room. Maybe make something positive happen, but no turnovers.
Get in the locker room. I would be interested to, wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall of that Stamford locker room. See what Jamar Green tells his team. Jamar Green, the head coach of this Stamford Black Knights football team in his 4th season.
I don't think he'll be too displeased with their effort. I just think they've had a few unfortunate turnovers and mistakes, and I think he'll be a more positive influence in there at halftime.
And what's funny is when they went to the air, you know, they were keeping it on the ground early on in the first half. When they went to the air, they really had some opportunities.
They had some wide open receivers, just didn't click.
And we see Mitch Pryor there walking around on the sideline. And he looks fine. But maybe we can try to find out. And Stamford is just going to keep this on the ground. And like you said, Mike, not do anything foolish.
Protect the football.
Protect the football. Run clock.
Blue Wave called an immediate timeout. Some strategic thinking by Coach Trafone, hoping to get the ball back.
Took the words out of my mouth, trying to get maybe one last possession here before the end of the first half. Well, this has been a real pleasure. Damian Andrew, joined by Mike Gagliardi, longtime president.
It's on a small cell phone, but it was live.
And here's number 6, Cameron Freckleton.
Gang tackled on that play.
That Darien defense just swarms the ball.
Strong play by Drew Ivanchek.
Drew Ivanchek, of course, Coach Trafone, we all remember Mark Ivanchek, Drew's older brother, had such a great senior season, great career at Darien. It ended a couple of years ago, became the all-time sacks leader in Connecticut high school football history, passing Dwight Freeney.
Correct.
The former Syracuse star, NFL star.
Playing lacrosse now at UPenn.
Yep. Mark Ivanchek. Could have played football in college. Goes the lacrosse route. So many of these football players do play lacrosse in the spring for Darien head coach Jeff Braymeyer.
Sort of a tradition here at Darien High School, playing those two sports.
Well, the broad-based athletic program at Darien is just, you know, that we talked off camera before this game started. The girls volleyball program has had such a history of success. Field hockey, the soccer programs are on the uptick. Swimming. Of course, the swim team coached by Rob Trafone's wife, Marge. Third down here for Stamford, and Forrester's going to throw it up.
Incomplete. Threw into a crowd.
And now they're going to have to punt it away here
from their own end zone.
From their own receive.
This is what Coach Trafone was looking for when he used those burned those timeouts.
I know you can't see Brian Minikis, but he is back to receive, and Martinez.
Another good kick by Martinez. Fielded at the 40.
And Minikis takes it inside the 25-yard line down to about the 23-yard line. So with a minute left here, we'll see how Darien head coach Rob Trafone plays this. Blue Wave in great field position, but they are up big, 27-0.
I mean, this is what makes a difference between an exceptional program and an up-and-coming program. Coaching staff that does this utilizes their timeouts to gain the momentum right back and hopefully put some more points on the board before the end of the half.
So Jack Joyce back in with this Darien offense rolling right. And he's going to chuck it downfield, and that's incomplete. Mike, what do you do in this situation? You're looking to get some more points here, I guess.
Absolutely. I mean, I think he's going to stay in the air. You might see one of the screen passes that they utilize here, or even possibly a jet sweep if they decide to go to the ground. But Rob's definitely looking to put a minimum of 3 points on the board here, considering he has a good kicker if he doesn't get in the end zone.
Yeah. Austin Hagender, a very good kicker. They have that luxury, does Darien. Here's Joyce looking downfield, and he's got Minikis, and he underthrew him. He had Minikis behind the defense, wide open, but he underthrows him at around the 4-yard line.
Jack knows he let one get away there.
You're absolutely. I was thinking the same thing as I'm looking at him with his hands on his hips. He knew that one was that was a touchdown. 43 seconds left. Third down for Darien here. And here's Joyce to the near sideline, over the middle, and that is incomplete.
Damien, I don't know what they're going to do here. This is quite this
Kicker.
I think they're going to go for it, and looks exactly what they're going to do. 40, a little outside of 40 yards is a lot to ask for a high school kicker.
And it would be all of that. Fourth down, Joyce out of the gun, up top for Minikis. Oh, broken up, and
pass interference.
We've got a
on
flag
the
on
Knights.
Yeah, we've got pass interference on the Black Knights. And that is not what you want to happen if you're Stamford head coach Jamar Green.
Coach Green may be wondering whether that was a catchable ball. That's the only thing I could see him arguing about on that play. It looked like it was overthrown to me, but the officials don't see it that way.
So this will put the ball on the 11-yard line. What am I talking about? The 11-yard line. Here's Joyce into the end zone.
Out of the end zone. Second down, 23 seconds left here. 27-0 Darien as we near the end of the first half. We have a player down for the Black Knights. It looks like it may be Frickleton. No, it's not. It's Teddy St. Louis down in the back of the end zone.
And Stamford just had a player go off with an injury, number 20, Lenny Garcia, holding his right knee, so that is not good. St. Louis here, Teddy St. Louis in the back of the end zone. He is down. Head coach Jamar Green tending to him and the Stamford trainer. You hate to see that happen. He's had such a nice first half for Stamford, been involved in so many plays for them. One of the real bright spots on this Stamford team.
With a mere 23 seconds to go. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. Walking off under his own power.
Yeah, and you like to see that.
A number of years ago, you'd see maybe 20, 22 players. It looks like they're close to 40.
Second down for Darien. Joyce out of the pocket into the corner, and that is a touchdown. That is a touchdown for number 26, Nick Green.
Mr. Reliable.
Oh, they worked that clock just right, the Darien coaching staff, to get that ball back and get more points. Hagender, good, off
the goalpost
the
on that one.
The goalpost, the left side.
There's a flag down, though, in the end zone. This might be unsportsmanlike.
Jack Joyce outside of the pocket, rolling to the near side of the field and finds Green all alone in the corner of the end zone. And the senior captain hauls it in.
This will highly likely be a touchback as they're kicking off from the 45 of Stanford.
Yeah, so the penalty assessed on the kickoff here. And that's just not what you want to have happen if you're Stamford. Darien up 33-0, 10 seconds remaining in the first half from Boyle Stadium here on the campus of Stamford High School.
Damien, you may see a pooch kick here. And that's exactly what we have.
Little onside.
Onside, Darien recovers the kick.
And Patrick Burke, number 19, recovers the kick. And it'll be Darien ball at the Stamford 31-yard line.
That's a classic example of using every tool in your toolkit from a coach that's been coaching for 40 years. Nearly 40 years.
Don't tell him that.
Sorry, Coach Trifone.
As we mentioned, had a lot of success at Brian McMahon, and he has really turned this Darien program into a juggernaut.
And they are just taking a knee. That'll be the end of the first half. Boyle Stadium.
And Mike Gagliardi, I've just been given an update from our producer, Brendan Ross, who does a terrific job for the DAF Media Network as we're just getting started here on the air. Mitch Pryor will not return. He's okay, but he is not coming back into this game. And Andrew Lucas has done a nice job filling in for Pryor.
He certainly has.
The junior running back. Gags, our first half is in the books. It's 33-0 Darien at the half. We're going to take a quick break, and we will return for second half action on the DAF Media Network. We are back here at the half. Darien leading Stamford 33-0 FCIAC football matchup. Border rivals here in southwestern Connecticut. Damian Andrew, so happy. President of the Darien Junior Football League, the DJFL, which we've heard a lot about in the first half of our broadcast tonight. Darien coming into this game undefeated, 3-0, number one ranked team in the state. Stamford began the season 0-2. They're coming off their first win of the season against city rival Trinity Catholic. That was a big win for head coach Jamar Green and his team, but certainly a tough ask tonight against the number one ranked team in the state. 28-game win streak coming into this one, Gags, and Darien has looked every bit as good as a lot of people think they are.
They look like the number one team in the state. It's remarkable the progress they make year in and year out when they lose such a great bunch of athletes each year to college, and they haven't missed a beat.
Yeah, Coach Rob Trefone in his 10th season as the Blue Wave head coach, of course, had a lot of success, as we mentioned in the first half, at Brian McMahon, and having all kinds of success here at Darien. 5 times they've been to the state finals. They're the back-to-back Class Double-L state champs. And we are getting ready here to start the second half of this game. Once again, Darien up 33-0.
It's a beautiful night here.
It really is. We talked about this. It's after last week where it felt like the middle of July, temps in the 80s, high 80s in that St. Joe's game at Stadium Field on the campus of Darien High School. Of course, Darien beat St. Joe's in that one 42-10. It was really hot and hot on the turf. Tonight, totally different story. Night game. It almost feels like a little bit of a college football atmosphere. A Saturday night. Lights are on. Speaking of the lights, you have not been on the Darien High School campus, but the new lights are now there. They've been installed. Darien played Brian McMahon a couple weeks ago. First ever night home football game in school history. Talk about a historic and special night.
Wonderful event.
But the lights are special lights, LED lights. Darien only the second team, or second school, I should say, in the state to have these kind of lights. They are really impressive. They just, as Pete Graham, the president of the Darien Athletic Foundation, said on air, they just pop, and they certainly do. And you got to get over there and check them out.
I will certainly be doing that. I hear they're state of the art.
So if you're Darien here, Mike, in this second half, obviously you're up comfortably in this game. Maybe an opportunity to get some players in that didn't see first half action, some backups, give them some time and gain some varsity experience.
Absolutely. You want to expand your rotation, get some guys in there. They're going to be big contributors next year and the year after, and give a blow to some of your stars, which have played a remarkably strong first half.
So Darien will kick off to start the second half here. Up 33-0.
Let's see if Stamford Black Knights can get some momentum, get some rhythm here in this second half.
And we are underway here in the second half of this one from Boyle Stadium. St. Louis takes it up the far sideline, and a nice return for him to about the 31, 32-yard line. So again, we talked about this a little bit in the first half. Pretty good starting field position for the Black Knights. They just now have to take advantage of it.
Yes, they as I mentioned, I've said it more than once. They need to chip away at this, get a few first downs, get some momentum, and make it a game.
Concession stand busy. I could have used a hot dog at the half. So Terry Forrester, the junior quarterback for the Black Knights, as we have a
coach is forced to take a timeout there. Not very pleased having to burn her timeout 7 seconds into the second half.
And he's given it to his junior quarterback, number 2.
That is inexcusable. You've had all the entire halftime to figure things out.
A little bit of frustration setting in there for Coach Green. Forrester here out of the gun. And
I believe it was probably defensive pass interference as well, which will be waved off, and they will take the yardage.
Absolutely a terrific catch by Teddy St. Louis. And that has Stamford operating at the Darien 40-yard line.
The officials are discussing something.
One of these days, they'll be asking us for a replay.
As we thought, defensive pass interference waved off. They will take the yardage and be inside the Darien 40-yard line.
Great call, Gags. You're absolutely right. 33-0 Darien here. Stamford's first drive of the second half. And they give it to Cameron Freckleton. You and I have called that name a few times, number 6, and he is a big guy.
Strong on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he's been all over the field for Stamford tonight. Stamford in black, Darien in white with the blue pants and the blue trim.
Coach Green may decide to stay in the air here as their ground game has been stalled.
And they have had some success throwing the football. Here's Forrester. And he is wrapped up by number 70, Drew Ivanchik.
With an assist from Grun again, and Zuro. I think Ivanchik will get a full sack on that one.
The defensive line last week for Darien had 11 tackles for a loss, 6.5 sacks. And they gave St. Joe's quarterback David Summers all kinds of problems. Summers only had 140 yards passing, and his number one receiver, Jared Malazzi, 1 catch in the entire game.
It's become a hallmark of this defense, that strong defensive line.
Here's Forrester out of the gun. He's going up top. He gets hit as he throws the football. So he was under pressure. Lucky to get that one off. Number 73, Mike Neary. Such a big part of that defensive effort.
Guys, this is about the time in the game where everybody starts looking at each other, deciding where they're going to go afterwards. It's not usually...
Downtown Darien, great place, great spot.
That's right. Yeah, so these night games are great. Really, really fun. I think a lot of people haven't eaten, and we'll be heading to the Goose afterwards. Mike's great. For those of you who don't know, he usually has the games that we're broadcasting on at the Goose.
We stream them, yes, we do.
So if you're ever looking, putting those on for us.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up, Bruce. It's become the clubhouse for the football team. It's wonderful for the parents of the football team.
Yeah, I had my first trip to the Goose, heard so much about it 2 weeks ago, and finally was able to stop by. It's a beautiful place. As I mentioned to you off camera, reminds me of a place that great restaurant, sports bar in State College, Pennsylvania, on the Penn State University. I'm an alum of there, and it reminds me a lot of my college days. It's a great
It's warm.
spot.
It's nice.
It is
nice
warm.
people.
Yep.
It's fun. There's a couple weeks ago, you had a nice band playing. They were very good. Everybody had a good time. A lot of parents in there afterwards.
Thanks for the plug, Bruce.
Sure. Happy to do it, and thanks for everything you do for Darien football and all around the community. We're really...
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, really.
And as you just saw, that was Joyce going down the far sideline for Patrick Burke. Overthrows an incomplete pass. And we thank Mike as well for joining us on the broadcast tonight. It's been an absolute treat. 9:10 left in the third quarter. 33-0. Darien. Jack Joyce.
Got a 3rd and 10 here.
Rolls left. Throws across his body and nearly had number 2, Alex Damel, the senior receiver. And as you mentioned in the first half, he has that ability to throw right, throw left across his body. And that's a tough throw. That's a tough ask for a quarterback, and he's done it. First-year senior starter is Jack Joyce. And Darien will punt this away.
They haven't had a punt very much.
And more issues for the Black Knights.
Damien, I think they just burned their 2nd time out in the first 3 minutes of the second half.
They did indeed.
Darien's punting game is also very good. I don't actually know if I know their punter's name.
It is Andrew Donovan, number 25.
He's got a strong leg.
He does, and I saw him warming up before the St. Joe's game last week. Had a chance to spend some time on the sidelines. We did not broadcast that game. Our friends at the HAN network broadcast the St. Joe's Darien football game last week, homecoming at Darien High School Stadium Field. But I had a chance to spend some time on the sideline, and I watched Donovan, and he does have a great leg.
There really isn't a weakness on that. As you mentioned, the special teams, defense, offense, their kicking game is extremely strong. It's become an asset, not a liability like it is for many high school clubs.
Yeah, great point. So Donovan back to punt. And he gets off a beauty. And a great tackle by number 2, Alex Damel.
Great coverage by Darien.
Terrific coverage, great special teams tackle by Damel. He wrapped up Jason Baez as Baez tried to head to the far side of the field, but Damel right there to track him down.
Baez made an athletic play to catch that ball and advance it.
Terrific punt. Stamford will start on their own 22-yard line. And they give it to Freckleton. And he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, tried to get outside.
Peter Gattuso and Connor Fay on the tackle there. Gattuso, the older brother of one of the original Challenger Little League players in Darien, Connecticut, Matt Gattuso.
I want to talk to you at some point in the second half about the Challenger Little League program. I know you've been heavily involved in that through the years. A terrific program. And the Stamford offense goes back to work. 2nd down, a long. 2nd and 20 plus. And
new quarterback.
New quarterback in for the Black Knights.
And he throws a pick.
Isaiah Johnson. And it is picked off. Another Stamford turnover. And Darien will have great field position inside the Stamford 20-yard line.
I think the Black Knights here have expanded their rotation as well. I think they've seen the writing on the wall and want to test some other players.
Yeah, you know, it gives you an opportunity in these games, these line.
I think Damien, this might be the last series you'll see Joyce in there. Possibly get the sophomore Graham in there to give him some reps. Joyce, as you said, Damien, threw behind him. They hit in the numbers, it would have been 6.
Darien with so many weapons on offense, some terrific, talented receivers, 4 receivers here, and they give it to Lucas, and that is a touchdown.
That is the same play he ran on the opposite side of the field in the first half, basically untouched, straight up the middle.
Rights, and it is 40-0. Darien in total control of this FCIAC matchup.
This team is on autopilot right now, Damien.
Well, like you said, they have so many ways. There's really not many weaknesses. We mentioned the defensive line, right? That was has been such a big part of Coach Treffone's success in recent years. Some guys who really get after it, get after the quarterback, apply a lot of pressure on defense up front. That was a question mark coming into this game. But as I said to you in the first half, the questions really have been answered. I mean, they have played well right from the get-go in that win over Ridgefield.
I mean, and as strong as they are, Damien, they have Zero has returned to the lineup after missing a couple games. He stepped right in there as a senior starter, plugged up the middle of the defensive line, really stifled that running game that forced Stamford to throw on nearly every play.
And you've called the name Connor Fay, Kevin Groon, Nick Green number of times tonight, right? They've Coach Treffone told me a couple weeks ago it might be his best linebacking core he's ever had. That's saying something with the successful teams he's had, both at Darien and McMahon in the past.
Yeah, it shows you how this coaching staff can adapt. They've always had great defensive backfields and led by people like Hudson Hamill and Colin Minikis, and then they've had great defensive lines. Now they've developed an incredibly good linebacking core.
End over end kick, and that is going to be recovered
by Darien. Even a bad kick is turned into a positive outcome for Darien.
Ryan O'Neill, number 42, the senior, getting it done, recovers the kickoff for the Blue Wave.
Rob has replaced Jack Joyce.
Great call, Gags. You called it. Peter Graham, the sophomore quarterback, is in now. Going to take some snaps out of the gun. Gives it to Lucas as Darien stays on the ground. Lucas inside the 10, 5, and that is a touchdown. Great run by Andrew Lucas. And Andrew Lucas has a hat trick.
He does. He does.
He has, use a little hockey analogy, has 3 touchdowns now in this game as Darien has blown it wide open.
That time he decided to score a little bit closer to the sideline, seeing the first 2 were right up the gut. I guess you could say the sophomore Graham is efficient. He's in for 1 play, and he leads the team to a score.
Well, I know his father was happy to see he had a touchdown on for the extra point, and it is good. 47-0. Darien with 6:21 left in the third quarter. Damian Andrew alongside Mike Gagliardi. Darien in total control of this game, up 47-0. 28-game winning streak. It is really amazing when you think about it. They have not lost since 2014 when they lost to their arch rival New Canaan. They have not lost a regular season game since 2013.
That's a remarkable run.
It's really impressive.
Any sport, any coach, any town, it's a remarkable run.
And we will be broadcasting some games next week on the DAF Media Network. We'll be doing the girls volleyball match between Darien and Stamford, 4 o'clock on Monday. We'll live stream that on Tuesday. Big field hockey matchup as Darien kicks off here. Big field hockey matchup between Darien and New Canaan, arch rivals. That should be good. That's
out nearly to the 30.
And Isaiah Johnson, after throwing that pick, he stays in at quarterback, just a sophomore, 5'8", 155 pounds. And we have whistles and a flag is down.
Daniel Collazo was in a little bit of a hurry to get downfield. Jumped offside, number 10.
Yep, it'll be offside Stamford, and that will back them up 5 yards.
Damien, they just haven't been able to get in any rhythm. They're not getting enough first downs. They're making some silly mistakes, and it's taking its toll on the team.
You know, it's funny. They had some chances in that first half through the air. Just couldn't quite capitalize. You know, some overthrown balls, wide open receivers, and couldn't hold on to it. Here's Johnson out of the shotgun. The lefty out to the flat to Baez, and he is quickly wrapped up by number 36, Tyler Russo, the senior quarterback, getting some minutes here for the Blue Wave.
That was a nice stop. Nice tackle, Tyler.
Terrific tackle. And as you mentioned, some of the Blue Wave backups getting an opportunity to gain some valuable minutes here in this one against Stamford. The game well in hand. Darien up 47-0, 4:25 left in the third quarter. Rattled a little bit in the pocket, is able to keep his head and finds Baez downfield for a big gain.
He has a strong arm.
So Stamford at their own 46-yard line. First down here. Johnson to the air again, and that's thrown behind the intended receiver, number 22, Julius Page.
Connor Fay may have been shaking up a little bit there. Yeah, he's going to come out.
Time ticking away here in the third quarter, 3:18 left. Stamford. Second down. Over the middle. Page couldn't hold onto it. Nearly intercepted by number 33, Blake Seller of the Blue Wave.
Grun was right in on the play again. Forced that drop.
Grun, one of those linebackers that we spoke earlier about that could.
Henry Slaneski. Probably one of the better names on the roster. Now playing middle linebacker.
I tell you, I've been impressed with Isaiah Johnson, the Stanford backup quarterback. He's shown some poise there for a sophomore, and he completes this pass out to the far sideline.
Another great throw for a first down.
Julius Page picks up the first down for Stamford as the Black Knights have a little rhythm going here.
It's about time they finally have it.
Drive out of this game, Gags.
Certainly. And the competition for the rest of the year for the Black Knights will not be the same as the Blue Wave.
Johnson back to pass, puts it up, and Baez had all he could do to get a hand on that one. A little overthrown.
Yes.
Can't come up with it. Would have been a tough catch.
2nd and 10 here. They're picking up the pace, Stanford, as well, which is a good thing.
Just a quick shout out to our camera guy tonight, Andy Demopoulos, doing a great job on camera for the DAF Media Network. Of course, our producer, Brendan Ross, as always, does a terrific job. 47-0, Darien, 1:14 left in the third quarter. Stamford in Darien territory on the move here, trying to get something going. Isaiah Johnson takes the snap to the flat.
Nice
Number
move.
10, Danny Collazo, and picks up some of those yak yards, yards after the catch.
Yes.
And
good juke to help get an additional 6-7 yards.
Yeah, and it'll be to the Darien 35-yard line. And the Stamford offense trying to keep it going, trying to keep the momentum going here. Johnson out of the gun. And he's going to throw it again. Ooh, a nice catch. A great catch. Bruce Ferguson put a hit on number 22, Julius Page, and Page able to hang on to that ball. That was a terrific catch.
Get up, and he gave the point for the first down, and he's ready to go again.
And that was quite a lick put on by Bruce Ferguson.
Damien, this kid, as you've mentioned, has a lot of poise for a sophomore. That's the end of the third quarter here.
End of the third quarter, Mike Gagliardi, 47-0 Darien over Stamford in this FCIAC matchup here from historic Boyle Stadium on the campus of Stamford High School. As I said to you in the first half, this is one of my favorite venues. It is a beautiful stadium. As I said, in recent years, they've renovated it. It has held FCIAC championships in football here before. Of course, they don't play an FCIAC championship game anymore. Last season, Darien beat Southington on this very field in the state semifinals en route to their second straight Class L state championship. Of course, beat Ridgefield in the title game.
Yeah, it's a heck of a place to watch a game. It's a throwback.
And Gags, I have to say, the press box, very comfortable because we have the window open here, and it's chilly out there. It's chilly. We are nice and cozy warm up here in the press box. Great press box. This was just put in a few years back here at Stamford High School.
I didn't expect such comfort, Damien. If I knew it was going to be
this
like
is like
this,
doing
if I was knew it was going to be like this, I'd demand to come back for more games.
Well, you've got to do another one with us, that's for sure. We would love having you. It's been an absolute blast having you on tonight. Mike Gagliardi, of course, the former president of the Darien Junior Football League, the owner of the Goose and the town of Darien. And Bruce Ferguson has joined us now in the booth. It's nice and warm in here, right?
It's balmy in here compared to up top.
We're going to get Bruce's headset on here. Bruce, you're using the other headset. There we go.
Sorry, I had my intercom headset on.
By the way, your son just had a great hit.
Brendan was just telling me that. I'm sorry I missed it. But
the junior cornerback for the Blue Wave. And the Stamford offense goes back to work here. Isaiah Johnson, the sophomore quarterback, stays in, and he's going to throw it again. And he goes up top to Teddy St. Louis, who holds on to it, and that was a terrific catch. Stanford,
heck of a throw, heck of a catch, inside the 10.
You called it. You said, they've had some success. They're going to start throwing the football, and they have, and they've come up with some nice plays.
I mean, time necessitated it, but
certainly
the ground game was getting nowhere, going nowhere.
So Stamford now inside the Darien 10-yard line.
Guys, we just did a little crew change here. We've got Andy Demopoulos now producing and doing the score. And when we sent Brendan Ross up to the windy, cold roof to do the camera. So thanks to both of these.
Andy, I didn't, you probably didn't hear me up when you were doing camera, but I gave you a shout out. Did a great job on camera in the first half. Andy Demopoulos, a freshman at Darien High School.
And Brendan Ross.
The
other student from Darien High School that's helping us out and doing a great job. So we're happy to teach them some things. They're teaching us a few things, and it's a good thing. So if there's other kids out there to get involved with the Darien Athletic Foundation with our live streaming, and we've got all sorts of jobs to do, whether it be working a camera, helping us with the score on the producing on the computer, doing some backstory.
Isaiah Johnson up top, touchdown Stamford as he finds number 10, Danny Colazzo, all alone in the corner of the end zone. Not to interrupt you, Bruce, but a big play for the Black Knights there. Their first touchdown of the game.
Boy, did they need that.
Yeah, to get something positive on these drives.
This kid 8 is a spark. He's a sophomore. He's a real spark.
He has come off the bench and has done a nice job here in the second half for the Black Knights. And Jason Baez on to hold. Will Martinez on to kick the extra point here. And that is good. So 47-7. The Black Knights are on the board. And Isaiah Johnson, the sophomore quarterback, has come in and done a nice job for Jamar Green's team.
I'd like to see his stats there, Damien. He's completed the majority of his passes.
And he's really shown a lot of poise. You know, he's been flushed out of the pocket a few times. He's been harassed by that Darien defensive front. And he has kept his cool and completed some big plays.
This is a talent you're going to have to look out for the next couple years. Only a sophomore.
Coach Green has cultivated some talent in his 4 seasons here at Stamford. He's come in. They had a couple seasons ago. They had a nice season. They struggled last year. Off to a 1-2 start this season coming into this game. But a big win over Trinity Catholic, obviously. You know, they take that city rivalry serious here in the city that works. And Will Martinez, the junior, will kick off for the Black Knights. Little squib kick there. And it's fielded at the 41-yard line by Darien. So the Blue Wave offensive unit comes back out onto the field of Timmy Graham, who had quite a career at Darien when he was the starting quarterback. And he was a guy that could throw it downfield.
Led them to a state championship, I believe, his senior year.
State championship his senior season. And here's Peter Graham. Gives it to number 30, Will Kirby, the sophomore running back. So Graham and Kirby, 2 sophomores in the Darien backfield. And Kirby takes it to the 38-yard line. Up the middle, down Kirby, the sophomore running back.
Was able to beat the corner off an off-tackle play. Graham remains efficient. 4 plays from scrimmage, 2 touchdowns. I believe his quarterback rating is perfect.
I believe it is. He hasn't had to do much. Hand it to the big fella. Is on for the point after. Taking a look here at the Darien cheerleading unit. And they do such a great job. And that point after, you didn't see it, but that was blocked. So no good on the PAT.
Flag down. I don't know what it is, but
we were talking about that Darien cheerleading squad, a small squad, but they are out supporting the Blue Wave for every game. They do such a great job. One of the cheerleaders, Kathy Alter, she does such a great job. Personal friend, the younger sister of Jay Alter, who was on the call for that Darien Brian McMahon game a couple weeks ago, the first ever night football game, home game in Darien history. So it's 53-7 after a 58-yard Will Kirby scamper for a touchdown. The sophomore running back getting it done.
Damien, those cheerleaders that we showing in the shot right now, Darien's squad has numbers have really dwindled in the last few years, and I know they're really trying to build it back up. If you look at the Stamford cheerleaders here, they've got quite a squad. So if there's moms or dads or kids at home listening, and you're interested in cheerleading, then let it be known and go out and talk to somebody at Darien High School, because I know that they would love more cheerleaders.
We have a new kicker here for Darien kicking off, Will Kirby.
Out of bounds by number 9, Jaden Dawkins. Couldn't come up with it. Rolls out of bounds, so Stamford will take over here at about the 21-yard line.
Darien is rotating in some new players, the defensive line, and at the linebacking core.
A convincing effort here tonight from the Blue Wave. Isaiah Johnson in at quarterback for Stamford. Stays in, I should say, out to Baez. And the screen pass, and Baez picks up maybe one.
Damien, this guy is playing with some poise.
Really
Runs
is.
over to the coach, picks up the plays.
Yeah.
Makes it happen.
Only a sophomore, Gags, which is what's impressive. As you said, certainly a bright future for number 8. Has taken command of the huddle. Looks like a seasoned veteran out there.
He does. Got 2 split out left here.
And gives it to the big guy.
A workhorse.
Cameron Freckleton. You and I like that name. Picks up a couple of yards. Freckleton, 6'2", 200 pounds.
Tyler Aponte brought him down on that play.
We are approaching the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter.
Third and 6, Damien.
Danny Colazzo wide open. Little bit overthrown, but would have been a heck of a catch.
Colazzo, I think, slowed down there. I think he thought the ball was going to hit him in the chest, and it was a beautiful ball again.
A minute 30 left. 53-7, Darien leading Stamford here at Boyle Stadium. Damian Andrew, Mike Gagliardi. And we apologize for our first half technical difficulties, but we are live here on the DAF Media Network as Isaiah Johnson tucks it away.
First down.
And picks up a first down.
This is a heck of an athlete you're looking at.
We talked about Jack Joyce, who had a terrific game again tonight for the Blue Wave, a dual threat quarterback. This Isaiah Johnson, the sophomore number 8 for Stamford, a dual threat kind of quarterback. The left-hander, he slings it up there again to Teddy St. Louis.
That was a catchable ball there, Damien.
Yeah, if he had dove for that ball, he might have had it.
This kid is putting it on the spot.
He is putting it in stride. And if you're Stanford head coach Jamar Green, the one takeaway from this game, not a whole lot of highlights, but boy, you have to like the way your sophomore quarterback has played. Granted, he has
they can sense that this is a real talent. 24 seconds left here.
This one is almost in the books. 53-7, Darien. Here's Johnson.
Freckelman again.
Freckelman, stop. Back to pass. Down the near sideline, and that is almost caught as the time runs out. Danny Colazzo, number 20, or Julius Page, rather, number 20, as the teams meet at midfield to go through the handshake line. Darien is off next week. They get a bye. They'll head to Staples in 2 weeks to play the record.
A little too over their heads right now, but made some promising play, and hopefully next year it'll be a different story.
I said final thoughts. I lied. I've got another question. What your takeaways? What really impresses you about this Darien football team this season?
The fact that they have no weaknesses. I mentioned it earlier in tonight's forecast or broadcast. Their special teams are incredible. Their kicking is incredible. Their coverage teams are incredible. Their defensive line is very, very strong. And where you had mentioned it earlier, Damien, this linebacking crew they have is dominant. Where if and when something gets through the defensive line, the linebackers are there to wrap it up. So there's just no weaknesses in this team, and they're obviously very, very well coached.
Gags, it's been a real pleasure.
Same here, Damien.
You got to do it again. Will you do it again?
See you over at the Goose.
All right, absolutely. Mike Gagliardi sitting in on the broadcast tonight did a terrific job. The final score of this one, 53-7. Darien, the number 1 ranked team in the state, will stay that way. They improved to 4-0. For Bruce Ferguson, Andy Demopoulos, Brendan Ross, and Mike Gagliardi, I am Damian Andrew, and this has been a presentation of the Darien Athletic Foundation.